Good day everyone, my name is Terence and I'm from MSU Central. My ID number is 2022-0250-90017. Today, I will be presenting a critical review of an article titled Corporate Strategic Innovation Board Diversity and the Moderating Role of Board Independence, Evidence from an Emerging Islamic Economy. This study was published in 2026 in the Journal of Islamic Accounting and Business Research. And this article focuses on how corporate governance influences innovation performance, particularly within the Malaysian context. The main objectives of this research is to examine the relationship between board diversity and corporate strategic innovation, while also analyzing the role of board independence as a moderating factor. To put it simply, this study tries to determine whether having a diverse board improves innovation and whether or not independent directors strengthens the relationship. Next, I'm going to be talking about the problem. The research problem addressed in this study is the lack of clear and consistent evidence on how different dimensions of board diversity, such as ethnicity, gender, tenure, and education, affect corporate innovation, especially in an emerging Islamic economies like Malaysia. This issue is particularly important because Malaysia has been actively promoting innovation and increasing research and development investment, yet the level of corporate innovation remains relatively low. Despite the governance reforms such as the Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance 2021, there is still uncertainty about how board characteristics actually influence innovation outcomes. Therefore, the study fills in the gap by investigating not only the direct relationship between diversity and innovation, but it also investigates the role of board independence in enhancing the relationship. Next, in terms of the literature review, this study is grounded in two main theories, which are the resource dependent theory, RDT, and agency theory. RDT suggests that a diverse board brings a wider range of knowledge, skills, and external connections, which can enhance a company's ability to innovate. On the other hand, the agency theory focuses on monitoring role and monitoring the role of the board, emphasizing on how independent directors can improve accountability, as well as reduce managerial opportunism and support better decision making. This literature review also highlights that the previous studies have produced mixed findings, where some show positive relationships between diversity and innovation, while some other reports offer negative and insignificant results. This inconsistency clearly justifies the need of a further research, especially in specific contexts like Malaysia. Moving on to the research design, the study adopts a quantitative approach using panel data analysis. It examines 129 public listed companies in the technology and healthcare sectors over 3 period years of 2021, 2022, 2023. Corporate strategies innovation is measured using R&D intensity, which refers to research and development expenditure relative to sales. The independent variables include 4 dimensions of board diversity, namely gender, ethnicity, tenure, and education, which board independence is treated as a moderating variable. This study also includes control variables such as firm size and leverages. To ensure the reliability of the results, advanced statistical techniques are used, which includes a Praise-Winston regression model with panel corrected standard errors along with diagnostic tests to address issues like heteroscedasticity and autocorrelation. The findings of this study or the journal reveals a very interesting insights regarding various matters. Firstly, gender diversity is found to have a significant negative relationship with corporate strategic innovation. This suggests that female directors still face challenges in influencing board decision, especially in a male-dominated environment. This is a result of patriarchal direct misogyny. Secondly, the ethnic diversity, tenure diversity, and educational diversity does not show any significant direct impact on innovation. This indicates that simply having diversity within the board does not automatically lead to a better innovation outcome. However, one of the most important findings in the role of board independence is the relationship between board diversity and innovation, particularly in terms of gender, ethnicity, and tenure diversity. This suggests that independent directors play a crucial role in ensuring the diverse perspectives are not only present but also actively considered in decision-making process. From a discussion perspective, the study highlights that diversity alone is not sufficient as it's not effectively managed. To put it simply, in other words, having a diverse board members is not enough unless their ideas and viewpoints are included in strategic discussions. Board independence helps create a more open and balanced environment, which allows different perspectives to be heard and integrated into corporate strategies. This finding emphasizes the importance of board effectiveness rather than just board composition. What I'm trying to say is having a female director or members of different diversity, races, and ethnicities is not enough unless you take their viewpoints and opinions into consideration to emphasize the importance of the board. However, the study clearly demonstrates that the board diversity alone does not drive corporate innovation. Instead, board independence play a critical role in enhancing the effectiveness of diversity by ensuring that different perspectives, as I said earlier, are meaningfully considered in strategic decision making. This finding have an important implication of policymakers, companies, and investors. Policymakers should focus on strengthening corporate governance frameworks. Companies should ensure that the independent directors are empowered to contribute effectively, and investors, on the other hand, should carefully evaluate both board composition, and independence when assessing firm performance. Overall, this article is well structured, theoretically and methodologically strong. It makes a valuable contribution to the literature by integrating board diversities and board independence into single framework, particularly within the context of emerging Islamic economy. To conclude, the key takeaway from this study is that the innovation is not just about having a diverse board, but also how effectively the diversity is utilized through the strong governance mechanisms. Thank you for listening, and